years. But this might well be one of the most important of all time.
You got that right. This isn't just about a grudge or a title. It's about freedom of expression here on Raw. If Kurt Angle wins tonight, it's bye-bye puppies. Oh, I can't believe I just said that.
And it's more than that, King. It's goodbye to allowing Raw to give the WWE fans what they want. If Kurt Angle was the real American hero he said he is, he might pay a little more respect to a certain subject called the Bill of Rights. This superstar is the only man standing between freedom and censorship here on Raw. A win tonight would shut Stephanie McMahon's campaign down once and for all. But a loss.
Oh man, don't even think about it, JR. I've never been this guy's biggest fan, but I'm hoping and praying that he beats Angle at his own game here tonight. He's got to.
Angle is the master of the ankle lock, and his skill at submission-style wrestling is unparalleled in this business. This man has his work cut out for him, but this is a battle that must be fought and won. That went nowhere.
He saw that one coming. Everyone says that Kurt Angle's one of the greatest superstars in the business, but considering he went from Raw to SmackDown to ECW, that's like claiming to be the world's tallest midget.
Oh, come on, King. Angle. These top rope moves are always difference makers, for better or worse. Boy, what a match. I wouldn't even hazard a guess as to who's going to win this thing.
What? Have you got both your contacts in one eye, JR? It's been obvious to me since the start of the match.
Oh, really? Well then, why don't you just enlighten the rest of us, King?
No way. I can already tell this is going to be a great match, and I don't want to ruin the ending for you.
You're too kind, King. You're also full of horse manure, as far as I can tell.
So, how do you think this one's going to turn out, JR?
Honestly, King, I have absolutely no...
I don't know where he thinks he's going. This could be a mistake. I think it's pretty obvious which way this one's going to go, JR.
Well, from my perspective, this is still anybody's match.
Oh, man. I've been in this hole before, JR. This brings back some bad memories.
I can understand why, King. I can't even imagine the pain being inflicted here.
That submission is locked in, JR, and this is a tough hole to break.
It sure is, King. And even if you break the hole, it takes its toll on you. He's got that submission hole locked in.
He sure does, JR. He might make his opponent tap out right here.
What a submission hole! Could this be a tap out?
It isn't. The hole can't be broken. You can't take this kind of pain for long. Wow! Wow! There's a hole you don't want to find yourself in, JR.
You sure don't, King. We've seen many a superstar tap out to this one. Oh, boy, this is not going to be an easy hole to escape from.
It sure isn't, JR. I've been on the wrong end of that one many times. He's got his opponent locked into submission, JR. This could be it.
It could indeed. He might force his opponent to tap out right here. And there's the submission. There might not be any way out of it.
There'd better be, or we're going to see a tap out right here. He countered that one perfectly. I've got to say, JR, I'm really impressed by what we've seen here tonight.
How could you not be, King? These are some of the finest.
You're not going to win a match by insulting your opponent.
No, but having the crowd behind you can certainly get the adrenaline pumping.
Oh, here we go. What a jerk. How about continuing the match?
I don't think he's in any hurry to end this one, King. And I don't think the crowd wants it to end either.
I'm not sure I agree with what the crowd is chanting, JR, but I guess it's their right.
You're damn right it is. It comes with the price of admission.
You gotta respect the commitment and the dedication of these superstars to their... Uh-oh! Talk about a hole you don't want to find yourself in.
No kidding. This'll rearrange your anatomy. And there it goes. The submission is locked in.
Oh my gosh! He might make his opponent tap right here. He's really cranking up the pressure on that hole, JR.
He sure is. There's no doubt he's looking for the submission right here.
I don't care how tough you are, JR. No one can take this kind of pain for long.
You're absolutely right, King. We've seen many superstars tap out to this very hole.
Kurt Angle's too competitive for his own good. He doesn't know when he's met his match. He'd rather risk a serious injury than quit.
Well, maybe the submission has been expertly applied, and now it's just a matter of time.
That's right, JR. You've either got to break the hold or get broken by it.
The submission is locked in. This could be huge.
Oh my gosh, JR! You can't go long without tapping after this. I think I know who's going to win this one, JR.
Oh, really? Enlighten us, King.
Wait a second. Why are you so eager to hear my prediction?
Because I want to know who's going to win. And 9 times out of 10, it's not the superstar you pick.
This is a mistake, JR. Everyone knows that overconfidence costs superstars matches.
That might be true, King, but all I see is a very confident superstar who's got everything going his way. Sounds like this crowd's got something on their minds, King.
Who cares about them, JR? Look what's...
He's got his opponent locked in a submission hold.
We can see a tap out right here, JR.
You're putting a lot on the line when you climb that turnbuckle. There's no room for error when you're on the top rope.
I don't think these superstars have any intention of taking it easy on each other tonight.
That's not what they signed up for, King. And quite frankly, I think these fans would be disappointed if they didn't go all out.
Well, that's easy for the fans to say. They've never set foot inside that ring.
No, they spend their hard-earned dollars to watch what goes on inside it. And without them, we'll all be out of the job.
I think we're going to find out just how much punishment the human body can withstand here tonight.
I think you're right, King. These superstars seem intent on taking each other to the limit.
I love that attitude, JR. Go big or go home.
Well, these superstars sure aren't going home until this match is settled once and for all.
Well, from the looks of things, it's not hard to tell how this one's going to go.
What are you talking about, King? I think this is still an extremely competitive match that could go either way.
You know, JR, it's obvious that the only exercise you get is stretching the truth or jumping to conclusion.
Well, judging from the shape I'm in, I don't appear to be doing too much of either, King. You're looking pretty fit, though, I must say.
These superstars are putting on a great match so far, JR. But if they drop the ball, these fans will let them hear about it.
I don't think that's going to happen, King. These competitors know that their paychecks come straight from the WWE fans. They're not going to let them down.
Yeah, but if they don't keep the fans happy...
If wishes were fishes, the world would be an ocean. But that's not the case now, is it?
This match has the potential to be an instant classic, and I think these fans are too stupid to realize it.
How can you say that, King? How can you insult the intelligence of these WWE fans?
Well, I heard that we gave him an IQ test, and the results came back negative.
Folks, I've got to apologize for the king here tonight. He must have gotten up on the wrong side of somebody else's bed this morning.
Did you ever think you'd be watching these superstars compete against each other here tonight, JR?
I had a feeling their paths were going to cross sooner or later, and I'm glad I'm here to see it.
Me too. It almost makes it worth having to sit next to you and listen to those corny expressions of yours. What the heck is a government mule anyway?
It's what you get beat like. We're in the middle of a slobber knot. And if you don't have the guts to stick around, you might run like a scalded dog with a case of the limber tape.
All right, enough! I'm getting a translator before I have to come out here with you again.
Boy, when you look at these superstars, it really drives home the fact that Raw is the dominant brand of sports entertainment.
Oh, there's no doubt about that, JR. There's not a superstar on the SmackDown roster who could hold a candle to Raw's finest.
I wouldn't go that far, King. There are quite a few SmackDown superstars who I'd love to have on Raw.
Oh, come on, JR. Why would you want to lower the tone of the Raw locker room by bringing in some losers from SmackDown?
King, next time you call The Undertaker, Kurt Angle, and Chris Benoit losers, make sure you give me some warning so I can get the hell out of here before you do it. I don't want to be any part of what that's going to get me.
After some of the things we've seen in this ring, JR, I think we'd better remind the folks at home not to try this stuff themselves.
That's for damn sure, King. The WWE superstars are trained professionals.
And even they don't walk away from every match in the best shape.
They sure don't. We've seen more than one superstar taken out of here. He's got the crowd and his opponent in the palm of his hand.
That can change in an instant, especially if you let your opponent catch his breath. You know, JR, when I saw this match on paper, I wasn't too sure about it. But it's turned out a lot better than I thought it would.
I'm not at all surprised, King. I knew this was going to be a terrific matchup.
Oh, come on, JR. You're just talking through your hats. Speaking of hats, when are you going to get rid of that silly thing anyway?
Right about the time we stop wearing that crown, so. Well, you can't ever accuse the WWE fans of being shy about saying what's on their minds.
You sure can, JR, and I don't think we'd have it any other way. You can look at any professional sport you want, JR, and you won't find more incredible athletes than the WWE superstars.
You're not wrong, King. They compete every week until they are physically incapable of continuing. There's no off-season in the WWE.
We're not talking about running a ball down a field or slapping a puck into a net. This is serious physical competition.
It sure is. The toughest athletes in the world are on the WWE roster, and that's a fact.
Wow, what a shot! He's been busted wide open. That's gonna need stitches for sure.
Stitches, hell! That might mean the end of this match. He's risking serious injury by continuing to compete.
There's no reward without risk, JR. And these are WWE superstars. They're not going to stop the match just because of a little blood.
And there's a little something for the crowd. The best superstars never ignore their fans.
The best superstars also finish off their opponents instead of giving them time to recover.
Did you see that? Ring the damn bell. You can't let somebody get away with that.
I don't think the ref saw it, JR. And if the ref doesn't see it, it's not illegal. Oh, boy. These fans have got something on their minds, JR.
Well, they paid for their tickets, King.
Oh, boy. This looks like an all-or-nothing move.
This is a classic matchup, King. I'm so glad the WWE fans are getting the chance to see it.
Yeah, and I'm happy that I'm getting to see it too, JR. I just wish they'd pick up the pace a little.
Oh, no. This is classic old-school wrestling at its finest. You, of all people, should be able to appreciate that, King.
Wait a minute, JR. You're not trying to say that I'm old, are you?
Of course not, King. These fans love confidence in their superstar, and that's just what they're seeing from him here tonight.
Well, he can do this until the cows come home, but that's not going to win him the match. Boy, it's obvious these superstars have done their homework on each other.
They sure have, and this is one hell of an exam.
Let's hope it's not their final exam, JR. I'd love to see them go at it again.
Well, if I think the fans have their way, you'll get your wish, King. If one of these superstars starts to build momentum, it could be the beginning of the end of this match.
That's right, JR. You don't see a lot of matches won with one or two big moves.
You sure don't. You've got to lay the groundwork first. These superstars are going to put each other through wrestling hell tonight.
They've already got a pretty good start on that, JR.
They have indeed, King. I don't think there's an ounce of quit between them.
Yeah, and that's where things get dangerous. If you're too proud to admit that it's not your night, you might wind up risking your career for a single match.
But at the same time, King, no one makes it up the ladder without pushing themselves to the very limit. It's a very fine line to walk.
If any superstar shows the slightest hint of weakness, they've lost the match.
That's for sure. No matter how beat up you are, you can't ever let your opponent know the extent of your injuries.
And that's easier said than done, JR. The human body can only absorb so much punishment.
I tell you, King, sometimes I get exhausted just watching these superstars compete.
I know what you mean, JR. I don't think most people appreciate what incredible athletes these WWE superstars really are.
You've got to have some excellent conditioning to be able to do what they do.
Well, that's the name of the game, JR. You gotta keep moving. No dog ever peed on a moving car.
Oh, that's a lovely image, King. I'd ask you where you come up with this stuff, but I don't think I want to know, quite frankly.
Let me tell you, JR, you won't see action like this anywhere except on Raw.
That's for sure, King. There's not another brand of sports entertainment out there that can compare with Raw.
Now, if only we could get that through Michael Cole and Taz's heads, then they'd stop running their mouths on SmackDown. This has gone beyond just being a match, JR. I think these superstars genuinely hate each other.
There's no love lost between these competitors, that's for sure. If looks could kill, somebody would be pushing up daisies right now.
And you've got to admit, that makes for a much more interesting match, JR.
It sure does. But I just hope these superstars can settle their differences in the ring and leave it at that. I think this crowd's giving these superstars a piece of their minds, King.
Are you sure they can afford it, JR? JR's not going to be happy about this one, folks. I think one of his favorites is going to get beat like the proverbial government mule.
I'm not playing favorites, King. I might have issues with certain superstars as human beings, but I respect their in-ring abilities nonetheless.
JR, you're so full of it that you've got diarrhea of the mouth and constipation of the brain.
I tell you, King, I've got no earthly idea how these superstars can maintain this intensity week after week after week.
It's not easy, JR. There's no off-season. It's not like you've got 6 months to recover after WrestleMania.
That's for damn sure. And that's why I don't think there can be any doubt in anyone's mind that the superstars of the WWE are the greatest athletes in the world.
I think these superstars have a legitimate beef with each other, JR.
So do I, King. I'm not so sure their issues with each other are going to be solved with one match.
I hope not. I'd love to see them go at it again and again.
This is Raw action at its finest. That's why Raw is the #1 brand of sports entertainment.
You got that right, JR. You're not going to see this kind of action on SmackDown.
Not on SmackDown or anywhere else. There's nothing else out there that can come close to the excitement of seeing the Raw superstars perform live. What an incredible performance by these phenomenal superstars.
Did you expect anything less, JR? I mean, look who's in the ring right now.
No, I didn't, King. I had high expectations, and I'm happy to say that this match has exceeded them all.
Can you believe we actually get paid to do this job, JR?
It's like a dream come true, King. Except when I have to sit here and listen to you drool over the Divas.
Come on, JR. You know I'm helpless when it comes to puppies.
Oh, I know, King. And that's why I'm bringing a pitcher of ice water out here with me next time. The referee is out, King. Will we see someone take advantage?
I'd be disappointed in them if they didn't, JR. This is a great opportunity.
Oh, no. The referee's been knocked out. This can't be good.
Are you kidding? Now anything goes. It doesn't get any better than that, JR. Oh boy, these top rope moves can go either way.
I'll be honest with you.
Whoops, there goes the referee.
Oh, man. And now there's no one to keep order in this matchup. This capacity crowd is making their opinions known tonight.
They sure are, JR, and I love to hear it.
He did it. He beat Angle in an ultimate submission match and has saved
This is the happiest day of my life.